Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila Bila coming to you with the first review of Carl Weber's A Family Business. And this is the New Orleans. This is the spinoff from the family businesses. I think they were located in Houston. So, yeah, this is my first time reviewing this. Actually never saw a family business Houston at all. So hopefully none of this stuff correlates back to what happened. But it seems like everything is happening fresh here in New Orleans. So let's go ahead and get into it. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. The more you do like, the more I go through the algorithm. The more people start to view my commentary. And I really this is not going to be a long review. It's going to be mostly like an overview of what is going on with this. I do have to go to a funeral, so it's not going to be that long. Pretty much this is setting the stage of what is to come in regards to this season of a family business. Now I am still learning names, so please don't charge it to my heart, charge it to my head. But we're gonna go ahead and get into this here. So the episode picks up where you have Marquise, which is the son of Cheryl, um, and he's getting it in, right? So he's getting it in with I think this girl's name is Rochelle. I know she's somebody's wife. They really didn't mention who her husband was, but he was getting in with somebody's wife, right? And so Cheryl, she comes in. The only thing she hears is noise, right? She just hears noise, and she sees clothes and stuff all on the floor. So she's pretty much following the noise, and she has her, her little glizzy with her, right? So she has a glizzy with her, following the noise, and then she looks. She's like, "What you doing?" So, um, the girl gets up, Marquise gets up, and she was like, if you don't get up out of my house, you somebody's wife and all that. I'm paraphrasing. You're somebody's wife. Get on, the ramifications for all of this stuff. She talking about she's sorry. She said, get your drawers, pretty much get out. And she's fussing at her son, Marquise, saying, like, you just jumping on everybody. You're not supposed to be doing that. But anyway, we got business to discuss. He's like, what? Something going on with the casino. She was like, worse, it's a, I'm saying, an unalive body. So he puts on his clothes and they go down to the casino. So they introduce Monique, and Monique is telling a story about what happened. So apparently Monique is one of the governors over the casino. So she's one of the overseers at the casino, and she just makes sure everything is going right. But now they're in a gambling game, and then you have Pierre LeBlanc. He lost his money to, he said, some Billy Bob Thornton looking person. So he lost his money. He's drunk. And Monique is like, look, you always losing. The game ain't rigged. You're going to have to get on up out of here. So when he leaves out of the casino, you hear a pow, and they go outside, and it's blood, and it's an unalive body. So Monique was telling a story. So Cheryl was like, okay, well, take me to the body. So they go outside, they look at the body, and now they're trying to figure out how to dispose of the body. They looking around, trying to understand like what they're gonna do. You have, okay, so it's Monique, Cheryl, Floyd, and Marquise. Okay, so they saying that they're gonna have to pay somebody out. That's the only thing that they know how to do, is just really pay somebody out. So they try to get all the witnesses that they can, pay them off, and making sure don't nobody tell nobody. But at the end of the day, Pierre is not the problem, because apparently nobody really liked Pierre. It's his brother, Jean LeBlanc, is the problem, because Jean LeBlanc is like the godfather down there in New Orleans. And child, when you see what he have on, he look like he's somebody's father. Colonel Sanders, child, chicken. Anyway, I think it was the white he had on, but we gonna get there. So they were saying, like, the people in this room were saying, like, we not gonna tell nobody, but you know how it is down here in New Orleans. Somebody gonna snitch. Somebody is gonna say something. All right. So the whole thing is for Floyd and Marquise to do something with his body, make it seem like it was some type of setup. Get it away from the premises, like get it off. She don't want it nowhere around here. Move the body, do something with it, dispose of it, however you can. So while Floyd and Marquise are trying to figure out what they're gonna do with his body, you have somebody peeping in the woods, you know what I'm saying, seeing everything. Who's that peeping in my window? In the woods? Somebody or whatever. So while they're trying to talk about what's going on, the dude looking through the woods, noticing that there's this dead body that's been put on the back of a truck, about to, what's going on, right? Okay. So now you have another club down there in New Orleans, and it looks like John LeBlanc and his crew come in, they shoot up the club, tell everybody to get out right now. So you have the owners of the club, this old guy, this older gentleman right here, he comes in like, what's going on? He got his, his glizzy out, like, what's going on in here? And so the dude with the glizzy, like, y'all got some explaining to do pretty much. So what happens is, the dude with the older guy with the glizzy is talking to John LeBlanc, and John LeBlanc is apparently trying to really take his club from him, cheat him out of his club, make him sign some papers, give him $200,000. But old dude, he like, I don't want to sell my club. Like, I'm giving it to my son. So mind you, it's always a traitor on the team, right? It's always a traitor on the team. So old dude with the gun, with the glizzy, he's talking about he's going to give this to his son. All the while, he has a traitor on his team, which is John LeBlanc's niece. So the niece takes her glizzy out, pows the son, and now the older guy's just looking like, oh my God, like, what did you do? And so John LeBlanc like, look, if you don't sign these papers, I'm going to get your daughter and your grandson. So what you going to do? So under duress, the dude signs his name off, you know what I'm saying, to sign his club away, because he basically got robbed for his club. And yeah, and his son is on the floor passed out. So he signs it. They give him $200,000, which is a ripoff. And so the older gentleman, he's distraught. He's like crying. And so when he really like realizes what's going on, because they took his gun, they took his glizzy initially. So he's walking away with his hands empty, other than that $200,000. So he drops everything. He pulls out a knife and he goes to try to stab John LeBlanc, but it's a failed attempt, and he ends up getting powed as well. And so I was like, well, dang, this finna cause something else, because you didn't sit around here and pretty much rob this man of his club, and now he is unalive and his son is unalive. That don't make sense at all, but All right, so you have Marquise. He's out in the woods, right, and he's meeting the sheriff lady. And so he's making a deal with the sheriff lady, like, hey, we got this. I want you to come look at this. So she look at it. She's like, oh my God, it's who I? Yeah, that's who it is. It's Pierre LeBlanc. And she said, well, shoot, John is gonna go crazy once he realized his brother is unalive. So what you want me to do? He said, well, shoot, can you make it look like the Gators got to him? It's not like it hasn't happened before. So she was just like, okay, well, how much how much you trying to pay? He says 30. No, he says 10. She was like, please, no. You know what I'm saying? So they go back and forth at a bidding war. She says 50. She's stuck on 50. He went from 30, 20. No, 50. All right. So the whole thing is, I'm going to give you $50,000 to make it look like the alligators got to Pierre, and to try to make the scene die down. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter it really doesn't matter what they're saying and how they're saying that this boy was unalive. John is still going to ask questions. John is going to want to figure out what happened to his brother. Even though him and his brother wasn't on the best of terms, that's still his family. So he's going to cause a war down there in New Orleans. But the whole thing is, Marquise and Cheryl, they try not to have nothing to do with it, but they know a war is coming. Right. All right. So the lady agrees to the $50,000. He gives her 25 now, and he's going to give her 25 in the morning. So now you have Floyd. Floyd's girlfriend, I guess, is one of those voodoo witches. And so she'll run around here lighting her candles and all that stuff. Floyd comes in. Child, she gives Floyd a chicken foot to put around his neck, talking about a war is a brewing, child, some trouble is a brewing. And to me, she don't sound nothing like she from New Orleans. She sound like she like me. A trouble is a brewing. Child, I don't know. they probably could have got somebody that's really from New Orleans, because really none of these people sound like they from New Orleans. None of them. Anyway, so get back. So she tells Floyd, they gotta do it 3 times before the sun comes up in order for that chicken foot to work. And I guess he gonna have to keep coming back to get the chicken foot regenerated. Child, I don't know. But he got to walk around with a chicken foot around his neck, and everybody pretty much ragging on him. Talking about, you run around here messing with these voodoo witches, and they over here putting roots and curses out, roots and stuff all on you, and, child, anyway. So, now you have the sheriff going over to John LeBlanc's house. She tells him the news, like, we found your brother out there by the swamps. The gators got to him and all that other stuff. And he's just like, what? My brother don't even swim. How in the world, my brother end up, unalive by the gators? That don't even make no sense. So he said he gonna figure out what happened and all that stuff. So eventually his wife ended up coming down. John's wife came down, and she heard about the news, and she was like, I can't believe that happened, because last I heard he went to the movies down with somebody else. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. He offered them some beignets and stuff. Anyway, child, he found out his brother did. All right, so mind you, Cheryl and Monique, they had to go down and talk to them. I think this is the mayor. They had to go talk to the mayor, and the mayor is already giving $75,000 a month. 1 month to, I guess, for protection and just to make sure their casino was going to be okay, right? So he want to raise the prices to $100,000. She said, okay, fine. You can get it, I'll give you $100,000, but I'm going to need you to have my club open 3 extra nights, 3 extra hours a night. And, he's going to have to get all the ordinance and everything in order. She ain't got nothing to do with that. And she said, I'm not giving you a dime until you do what I asked you to do. Get all the ordinance and the paperwork and everything together. Once you get that, I'll give you your money. He said, okay, right? So they ended up leaving out. Monique was like, are you sure you want to give this man $100,000? She said, girl, I would have paid him double, because those extra 3 hours is like a whole extra day. So she gonna be making a whole lot of money just by those extra 3 hours with the club. So now this is the next morning. Marquise ended up meeting up with the sheriff lady, gives her the money, and come to find out they went to school together, and that was her crush. So, child, I guess they making sure that everything is going to be clean and all that other stuff. So we gonna see how long this sheriff is going to keep her word, because she seemed like she could kind of sway a little bit. I don't know. All right, so Monique and Cheryl, they getting them a spa day. They like, look, we done had a long day. We need to go to the spa, relax, release, right? So they over here getting a spa, and who do they see at the spa? They see and they overhear John LeBlanc's wife, and I believe that's his daughter. So they're talking about, Uncle Pierre and how he's unalived and all that stuff. Granted, they were saying, they didn't have the closest relationship, but it is still sad to see that he's gone. Come to find out, Jean-Luc is trying to offer up money. Well, John LeBlanc is trying to offer up money to anybody that knows anything, like $100,000. Anybody know anything? Because you know how it is, loose lips sink ships. Somebody gonna tell. If you got $100,000, let me tell you what I seen. I seen somebody with a body, it was on this property, and that's really what's going to get the show rolling, because somebody is going to snitch, and I'm thinking it's going to be that dude in the woods that saw them moving that body or whatever. So while they're over there talking, like I was saying, Cheryl and Monique overhear the conversation. Cheryl gets up and go over there and talk to them, talking about, I'm sorry for your loss. Y'all still coming to the masquerade? They said, yeah, we still coming to the masquerade ball. Okay, cool. So now back over at the house, and now that Cheryl knows that that John LeBlanc is trying to figure out what happened to his brother, she's concerned. You know what I'm saying? She's concerned for her son, rightfully so. She's like, look, I'm gonna have to get you up out of here. Like, you're gonna have to end up going to Houston, because you are my only son, and I will lose my mind if something happened to you. And he like, Mama, I'm a grown man. You built me for this. Like, this is for war. You just can't keep sending me away every time something happen. Like, this is what I'm here for. Soon this will be my casino. Like, soon this will be my empire. So I need to be here. She was like, no, I'm taking you to the airport to go to Houston, and I'm taking you myself. Right? So that's what she does. She gets up, put him on a plane to what she think is Houston. Child, she got another thing coming. Anyway, so later on that day, she ends up sitting down with Floyd, and Floyd is like, do you think that was the best thing to do? She was like, look, that's my son. He said, well, listen, speaking as a man, you making him weak, you making him soft. Like, let him be in this. Like, don't ship him away every time it get hard. Her whole thing is, look, I just want this to be over. He can come back, not right now. Let a new problem happen, because she know that John LeBlanc is ridiculously crazy, and she ain't trying to put her son in no mess like that. Like, let this blow over. He can deal with the next problem. Not this one. Okay, whatever. So, surprise, 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 surprise. He did not go to Houston, child. He done went down here to New York, because the whole thing is, before he left, she was saying, why can't we just can't call our family that's in New York? Like, they can help us. Like, they can help us. She was like, I'm not calling them. This is not their problem. That'll be the last thing that I do. She said, pretty much, if I call them, it'll be like on my last leg. Like, I'm not calling them or whatever. And he was like, because he was trying to get her to call, but she said no. But when he was on that plane, he had a thought. He was like, shoot, I'm finna go get her myself, because my mama hard-headed. And yeah, it's gonna get real bad real quick. So he ends up seeing his family down there in New York. He was like, hey, this is where Michael Jai White's character come in. I didn't remember his name, but we know it's Michael Jai White. And yeah, he was just like, look, I need some help. Mama, she don't want to listen. She's real stubborn right now. We got a problem going on down there in New Orleans, and we need some muscle. And he said, well, he can't go right now, because apparently his son had got into some mess that they got to situate down here. He said, but what he can do, he can send this guy right here in the black, I forget his name, I'll get it later. He'll send him, and also they gonna send the girl right here. I think that's his daughter. Or his niece. I think that's his niece. He gonna send his niece down, because he was like, cousin. He gonna send his niece down. He gonna send the other guy down, right? So I'm thinking, what is the niece and the dude gonna do? I guess the dude is like some muscle, or maybe he quick to, what they say, slow to speak and quick to shoot. Maybe he's one of those, some type of Rambo type dude, I guess. I don't know. And then apparently the niece, she's very smart, she's very, very smart. So maybe she's good with handling business or whatever. So, but anyway, y'all, this is what it is as far as the family business, y'all. This is Sheila. Be the like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. I mean, it seems like it's going to be relatively good. But yeah, I got to go ahead and get on and get ready. I got to go to the film, y'all. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. Y'all have a great day. Bye.